it's Menopause Barbie here, and today I have a special treat for you for helping you manage your menopause your way. I have with me Shana Ross, who is a Menopause Fitness Specialist. Now, that's not something you hear every day, right? A Menopause Fitness Specialist. Thank you for being here, Shana.
No, you don't hear it every day. You really don't.
I really appreciate having you.
Well.
So, how did you end up becoming a Menopause Fitness Specialist?
Because I went into menopause.
Of course.
That teaches you many things very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, you always hear about women gaining a lot of weight.
Yep.
And just not understanding what's happening with their body. Many times they go into it and they're not in really good shape.
Yep.
And I was the opposite.
Most of the time, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time.
I was the opposite. I was in really great shape.
Yeah.
I was coming off of a competitive bodybuilding,
Bodybuilding,
stint.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So even bodybuilders have trouble with weight gain during menopause.
Oh yes. And I knew what was happening. I was very much aware of what was happening, but it didn't matter. I had
Mother Nature.
a good nutritional basis.
Yeah.
All of those things, but it still affected me,
Yeah.
very adversely. Horrible night sweats,
Oh, wow.
hot flashes, couldn't sleep at night, mood swings, just fatigue, crippling fatigue. And so I had to completely even redo my fitness, plan, my eating
You're already
plan.
good fitness plan.
Yeah, all of it.
Wow.
And I decided if it happened to me, being in the space I was in, what was going on with all of these other women?
Exactly. So what did you do? How did you change your diet and exercise plan to accommodate menopause?
Yeah, research. I did my own research. I love to do that because if you have to keep learning in this realm. You have to keep learning to be able to help people and understand what makes someone tick and what might not work for someone at all.
Exactly.
But a bodybuilding diet, because you're expending a lot of calories, you need to if you're really trying to put on large amounts of muscle, but someone, of course, with my small frame, even a small bit of muscle is hard to get. You have to pay attention. You have to eat more starchy carbohydrates. You have to eat a good portion of proteins so that the starchy carbs are muscle sparing and you can use all of that. None of it worked. So I had to completely redo that, cut the starchy carbs way out, eat more fibrous carbohydrates, so all of the beautiful green vegetables, and up the fat content.
That's the interesting thing, the upping the fat content.
Way
because
up.
we all think, oh, no fat, no fat, no fat. I eat tons of fat.
So do I. So do I.
People see me put olive oil in my food and they say, I've never seen anyone use so much olive oil.
Yeah. But it worked. It worked.
Okay.
And now at 57, I don't have to even think about my weight anymore.
Good. Yeah.
And I keep the diet low starchy carbohydrates, tons of fibrous carbohydrates, very high fat content with avocados and olive oil and coconut oil, nuts, seeds, things like that. Real butter.
Right.
Real butter, not margarine, not anything fake.
Yeah.
And it works. It works beautifully.
So then what did you do with regard to your exercise that was different?
Well, I cut it way down.
You cut it way down.
I cut it way down.
Isn't that interesting?
I cut the intensity.
Yeah.
Because the joints start to hurt.
They do.
Because when you start losing that beta 17 estradiol, that's like the juice. It's the everything that's like the oil can.
That's so true.
So the joints will start to hurt. You just don't have the energy that you used to. So I shortened the length of time. I dropped the amount of weight that I was lifting.
Interesting.
And everything was better.
Really? And you were a bodybuilder, and so as a bodybuilder you had more muscle but you weighed less. Then menopause came along, you gained weight.
I gained weight.
really.
Oh yeah.
And so you gain weight with the menopause because that's Mother Nature.
Right.
And then you had to change your diet and your exercise to accommodate that.
To
and
lose
you
the
knew what
weight.
you were doing, but most women don't know what they're doing. But most
Right.
women don't know what's happening to them.
No, they don't.
In the first place.
They don't. And the number one thing I see, number one, women come in and they have slashed their food intake so low that they're not really eating enough to sustain life. And what I mean is that they're not going to drop dead, but they aren't eating enough to support this mechanism that takes a lot of fuel.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
to keep everything functioning well,
Yeah.
organs,
Yeah.
heart, respiration.
Yeah.
They're eating so low
Yeah.
that the body honestly thinks it's starving.
And I find that so many women don't eat breakfast.
Oh, I
which
know.
is a huge big mistake.
Yeah. I wake
and
up in
so
the
many
morning
women-
going, I get to eat.
I can't imagine skipping breakfast. But some women just start eating breakfast, and that's the only thing they need to do to change everything and get everything back on track.
Right.
It's
right.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It's this
But
whole
again,
metabolic thing.
slash the calories.
Yeah.
So you give up a
Yeah.
meal.
Yeah.
And breakfast is usually the one that goes because the
Yeah.
morning routine is
Yeah.
get up, go to work.
Yep.
You know, I'm in a hurry. So, well,
do it.
great. I'll cut calories and just not have to worry about breakfast. And they get to work, and you know,
Yeah.
before you know it, it's noon
The
or
engine
1,
hasn't gotten
and
started.
they're
Terrible.
just.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you figured out this new formula, this new way of maintaining what you needed to maintain?
Well, I started menopause early.
Oh, okay.
Very early. And the bodybuilding had something to do with that. Anytime you slash your body fat down to 5 or 6%,
Yes.
that's not necessarily a good thing.
Oh, God, not for a woman.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
No, it's not. So I was in my early 40s when, I hit it hard. We're not talking perimenopausal. We're talking straight on
Oh, it just kind of,
menopausal.
you just flipped a switch and just went
And
crazy.
boom, there
Wow.
it was. Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah.
But that is from the bodybuilding, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
That's sure.
I know it was. But it took me to about my mid-40s to, kind of get everything where it needed to be.
Yeah.
Plus, I consulted with a bioidentical hormone specialist.
Okay.
And I did bioidentical hormones, the estrogen patch, compounded progesterone. Got that
Yeah.
just right,
Yeah.
and it was magic.
Well, it's possible, and that's the thing. Some women feel like they kind of give up because it happens fairly quickly, and they get way behind, or I should say way ahead on their weight.
Right.
And then they feel kind of forlorn as to how will I ever get this off, because they do realize that suddenly their metabolism has slowed down and that it's going to be more difficult. But there's hope, because every one of us can find that formula, and it won't be the same for each person.
That's exactly
key,
right.
right?
Yeah, it's not,
It's not
what
this.
worked for me will typically get someone on the road
Yeah.
and have them feeling better. But there's always going to be tweaks. There's always going to be, things that work a little bit better for someone else.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, though, is that people need to be curious enough
Yeah.
to listen to their bodies and
Yeah.
start paying attention
And
to what's going
experiment a
on
little bit
and
with their own
experiment.
bodies.
Yes.
Each one of us needs to do self-experimentation
You bet.
and try something for a while and see the results, and then try something else until we find the right thing, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not like there's a magic answer for all women
No.
to all do the same thing. And I preach that to everybody about every aspect of menopause. This one is huge. This diet and lifestyle part is huge.
It is.
So you see a lot of menopausal women for exercise, fitness, and you train them. And when would you say that most of them are coming to you for the first time in their lives because of menopause and the fact that it's so difficult for them to figure out what to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because most women in menopause right now, they are starting to have grandchildren.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that is one of the big reasons people come in. They're like, well, I want to be able to get on the floor and play with my
Yeah.
grandkids. And I want to have energy to, to keep up with my kids
Sure.
and be able to go places with them and travel with them, and I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's usually the number one reason people
That is
come
great.
in.
I mean, that's a great incentive for them to just decide that, hey, this is a good reason for me to get myself in good shape. Yeah. And when they first come to you, what's the most common complaint you hear when someone shows up for the very first time?
I have no energy.
Yeah.
I've gained all of this weight right around my belly.
Yeah.
And because I have no energy, I don't want to work out.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know how to work out.
Yeah.
So, help.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
But guess what? There are people like Shana out there for you.
There are.
And you take care of both diet and exercise with your clients. It's a package.
It is.
Which is wonderful, because so many times you get a person who does only fitness. They may talk a little bit about diet, but they're not getting guidance and firsthand, well, I'll call it hand-holding with diet.
Right.
But
right.
you do all of it.
We do. You have to, because I always like to tell people you cannot work out your way around poor nutrition.
You can't.
It just doesn't work.
I know. That's so true.
You'll just flog yourself, and you'll get so discouraged because your body will start to reshape a little bit. It certainly will at first, but then it's going to stall out. And everybody's, well, I hit the plateau. Well, that's kind of a myth. It really is.
You can constantly improve if you just know what you're doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, we don't give people nutrition plans. We don't say, okay, on Monday you eat this, and on Tuesday you eat. It's too rigid, and again, not every plan works for everybody. So what we do instead is we take food down to the biochemical level of what starchy carbohydrates do when they hit your system, what protein does when it hits your system, what fat does when it hits your system.
That is great.
Yeah, because if you understand it more from a scientific viewpoint, when you're making a decision at a restaurant and you're reading the menu, instead of going, oh, I can't have that. Oh, that's just bad. That's just bad. You can look at it and go, well, if I choose to have that, it's going to spike my insulin.
That's right.
And it has a lot of fat in it, as well as a lot of starchy carbohydrates. So I'm going to spike my insulin, have all of this fat present. You understand biochemically what's going to happen to your body, and many times people can go,
it's not worth it.
I'm not going to do that.
It's just not worth it. When you learn how much you have to work out to take care of eating one donut, to erase eating one donut, it makes you really think twice about that donut.
Right, it does. It does. We really preach nutritional value.
That's great.
Stop worrying about the calories so much. Look at is it
so
actually
true.
nutrition?
That is so true.
Yeah.
All these people who count calories, no. It's not about calories per se. It's about what's in the calories.
Right.
And how and how you combine them.
Yes.
The combinations.
The combinations are big.
And here we are in a fitness studio talking more about diet than we are exercise. And isn't it true that about 80% of your fitness and your weight gain is going to be about diet?
I would say even higher.
Yeah, see?
80-20 is pretty perfect, but I mean, the more you can inch it up.
Principle.
Oh
my God. Yeah, and I think we delude ourselves into thinking that, if we exercise, we can eat whatever we want, and diet isn't as important. But the truth is, it is the most important part of it.
It is the most important part. And again, if you're only worried about calories, well, pretty much every processed food you can buy is low calorie these days.
Oh yeah, they make it that way. But
and low fat.
But calories are always substituted somehow.
Exactly. There's no nutrition.
If it's low fat, they've loaded it with sugar, and if it's low sugar, they've loaded it with fat.
That's right.
That's pretty much how it works.
That's right. You can eat a diet of processed food and know exactly how many calories you're eating because it's all tabulated there for you.
Yeah, unlike an apple. An apple, you're not going to know exactly how many calories are in it.
So, you know, eat your lean cuisine for lunch, and maybe your something for dinner, and your Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage, whatever, for breakfast, and eat the amount of calories you're supposed to eat, and you will lose weight. Because it's calorie.
But nutritionally,
you're dead.
That's right.
You're killing yourself.
That's right.
Slowly.
Yeah. And do you think women have more difficulty with diet or exercise?
Diet, diet, diet.
Always. See, it's so interesting. I mean, this is so interesting because, you know, we have so many things in our society that lead people down the wrong paths.
Oh, yeah.
It's very interesting.
I just love my wine at night, and it's like there's nothing wrong with a glass of wine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. But if you do it every night, and it's a bottle every night, shared between two people, that's too much.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's just too much. It's because it's the simplest sugar of all.
Sure, absolutely.
Sugar, sugar, sugar.
Yeah. Now, okay, exercise. What is different about your recommendations for exercise and your training for exercise for menopausal women versus, you know, other people who aren't menopausal, male or female? What's different?
Well, number one, we really try to be more concerned with movement, life movement.
Functional,
Learning how to move through your day much, much easier. And eliminating joint pain. And again, a lot of that can be through nutrition. Inflammation, taking inflammation out of the body, stop eating so much processed food, high starch food, because that's very inflammatory. But we really focus a lot on teaching people how to squat. I mean, because a squat is life.
That's true. That's what you do every time you get on and off the toilet.
Every time.
And think about how many times you get on and off the toilet, especially as a menopausal woman.
Right, exactly. Standing up, sitting down, people don't realize that's a squat.
That is,
You know, but usually they're putting their, you know,
it's how you do it.
Right. So just teaching them how to do that, how to get up and down off of the floor gracefully. And all of that requires core strength. It requires the glutes, the butt, the abs, the back, the legs. It requires all of that to work in concert and make you a much more graceful
and fluid person.
And when you move that way, you just automatically feel better. It improves your confidence.
And you look better, and everyone says, you know, are you a dancer or whatever? I mean, you just, everything about it is different. Now, when you teach women all these principles, do you see that most of them kind of go back and forth between doing well and not doing so well? It's the kind of thing that you have to kind of get in the habit of doing over time, right?
You do. Now, I'm in my 10th year of having my place here, and I do have a handful, I would say 3 or 4 women who've pretty much been here since almost day one of opening the door. And I mean, there are those people who just went, oh, I got it. I got it. You know?
They really, they've grown into it.
Just boom.
They know what they're doing.
They're just rock steady. And
but you know,
they've got it.
All of this has to become a lifestyle. And I think that when you become menopausal, it is a perfect time to adopt a lifestyle of deciding to be healthy and take care of yourself with regard to diet and lifestyle, diet and exercise. I think it's the perfect opportunity.
Oh, it is, because it's an enormous change in your life. I mean, it really is. It's not called the change for
exactly
for no reason, you know.
Now, what about women who are at high risk for osteoporosis? Do you have specific programs or target exercises for women like that who, I mean, I guess the needs are different in terms of exercise?
Well, if someone comes in with severe osteoporosis, and we have had those people come in, we've also had them come in with osteopenia, which is the very beginning, and reversed it.
Of course. And when it's early, you can do something about it.
And reversed it. So what we will do with them is very gently work them into a resistance program that requires them to lift a little bit heavier weights. Because the more resistance they put on their body, the more weight bearing they put on their body safely, the better their bone structure
Absolutely.
gets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we have to start out nice and slowly. Number one, they're going to get sore.
Yeah.
You know, that's for sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many of them don't have the core strength to balance,
Yeah.
to do a freestanding squat, just, you know, out on the floor. So we work them into it by giving them balance aids and things like that so that they can really learn how to sit back into the heels and incorporate the glutes, but hold their balance through their abs.
And you tell them what to think about when you're doing these things. And I think of exercise as tremendously a thought-provoking exercise because I don't think it's possible to exercise and have good form when you're busy doing other things at the same time or when your attention is distracted by other things. I think exercise is one of those events that requires you to fully focus on what you're doing and pay attention to which muscles you're engaging and move slowly and purposefully. And that's how I exercise, and people are always looking at me kind of going, what are you doing? You're hardly moving. And I'm like, I am too. I am moving. I'm just doing it slowly and purposefully.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's a big buzzword now, mindfulness, but it really does apply to exercise.
It does.
You can improve so much more quickly if you pay attention to what you're doing. You listen to your body. You know, do you honestly feel the muscles working?
So true.
And how they're moving. And we do have people in here who just come in and they're like, just go, 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 and we'll walk by and go, it's not a race.
That's right.
Slow it down.
That's right.
What are you working right now?
I have no idea.
So we remind them.
What about impact too? And what about heavy weights as opposed to light weights?
And again, it depends on the person. You know.
But in general, menopausal women don't need so much impact, and they don't need such heavy weights.
No impact. You're not going to see us. You know, you're not going to see. You know, benches in here, plyometric benches for people to be jumping up and down on, and there's not going to be a lot of jumping going on in here. No.
Do you think that balance and flexibility are the two most important things of all?
Oh, they are so important.
That's what I say.
So
I'm
important.
the balance and flexibility queen because, well, I think those are the two things people lose the most as they age, and they're the two things everyone works on the least. But they will save you from falling and breaking your hip.
Yes, they will. And balance is directly correlated to strength. Especially, you know, that all-important core. And people, you know, you say core, people think you mean your abs, but it's not. It's the glutes, the quads, the abs, the back. All of those things have to be strengthened. And the more you strengthen them, the better balance you're going to have.
Absolutely. Absolutely, And do you tend to incorporate flexibility and balance into all the exercises you have women do?
We do a lot of stretching. A lot of stretching. We really encourage people, if they're working in sets, to stretch between each set. But something that we'll do is we will work in circuits of maybe 3 or 4 movements to also incorporate a little bit of the cardio aspect into it. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. But when you finish your circuit, stretch the muscle groups that you just worked, and let's go again.
And the other thing that's great about your studio is the fact that you take care of menopausal women, but you also do a lot of rehab. And sometimes those two are really the same thing. I mean, well, it's true.
No, it is true.
They're very similar animals, if you will, because the principles are the same for both. Very much so. A big change has occurred in a person's life, whether it's from injury, or illness, or hormones. Because really, you know, the menopause is, it's like a hormonal accident. You know, it's a deficiency state.
Big thing that happens in your life. It's like hormonal whiplash. So it's really kind of all the same. You know? You're learning how to.
That's so important.
You're learning how to work with a body that's in a different state.
Yeah.
Because it is.
So true. And the frequency of exercise, do you think that menopausal women should be exercising at a certain frequency? Like, should it be every day for a shorter period of time, or every other day? What's your usual formula?
Again, that's
Everybody's
really, everybody's different. Some people love to do something every day.
And if they do, they should.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I tell people is just make sure you move every day.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a dog and you go for a walk, don't let it be a stroll.
Yeah.
You know, don't let the dog dictate, oh, we're going to stop here now. Okay, now we can move over here.
Let's pee on every
Walk.
bush.
You know, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Do
great.
some old-fashioned calisthenics.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still great.
They're great.
They really are.
They really, yeah.
Yeah. Just move every day. Now, when people come in here, we recommend, if they haven't done anything in a while, start with a couple of days a week of good, focused, exercise, and then start incorporating movement into your everyday life.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go up to 3 times a week and really, knock some goals out, let's go. Let's do that. Yeah.
Well, will you show us some of your principles and exercise and equipment?
Sure.
I'll
love
change.
to. Yay!
I'll change into exercise Barbie. Okay, let's do that.
Let's do it. So, one of the things we were talking about is a lot of people will come in and their balance is just,
terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And a squat, which we talked about, is really that whole movement of life thing.
Yeah.
So to teach someone to do a proper squat can be difficult.
Oh, very.
Very difficult. But if you start, with feet apart, tell people to tighten their abs, lift their chest by using their back muscles. People always think, well, I have to pull my shoulders back. Well, you can still slump and pull your shoulders back.
Yeah, you can.
It really is learning how to take that middle back,
And
lift your chest, open up your belly, tighten it up. But that's where the problem comes in then. Can someone sit back into their heels and keep that posture?
Yeah.
This posture here instead of this.
Absolutely.
And most people can't.
Right.
So one thing that we love,
These things.
TRX is life.
These are great.
They are wonderful. They simply give you a little bit of balance. That's all they do.
Yeah.
And you're not hanging on to them and pulling with them.
Yeah.
You just take a nice, simple little grip. What it does is it allows you to sit back into those heels, tighten your belly, keep your chest up,
Your posture is so beautiful.
and keep that balance.
Yeah.
That's everything. Then you push through those heels, tighten the tush,
And you can feel all of that.
and you can feel all of it. Yeah. And that's usually, honestly, the way we start people.
Sure.
We always do an assessment with someone, always. And the first exercise we have people do is a squat. Can they?
Yeah.
And if they can't,
Yeah.
we hit that. And once you start getting all of those systems
That's the
nice
beginning
and
of
tight,
balance.
you got
That's
it.
the beginning of
That's
balance.
exactly right.
And once you get that, you can start playing with other machines and toys and things that are unstable, and test your balance.
Yeah.
Like you did when you were a kid.
Right. One of my pet peeves, I have to be honest, one of my pet peeves are the big box gyms. When you go in, you get a session, and they show you the machines.
Oh, I don't like machines.
And that just drives me
I don't
crazy.
like machines very much because not only can you cheat on a machine,
Oh yeah.
but there's no perfect adjustment for body dimensions.
No, there isn't.
And so I always feel a little awkward on a machine. I feel like my arms are too long, my legs are they are too long, but but the machine doesn't accommodate that.
You are long.
I've got this long problem and a very short body.
Yeah.
I think I'm anatomically incorrect.
But yeah, it would be difficult for you to
It's
fit
very
into a lot of machines and get the proper positioning that you need to be in.
So this kind of stuff is way better, I think,
it's so
because you
much
can
better.
do everything as it pertains to your own anatomy.
Yeah, and with the TRX, you use your own body weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can
That's
decrease it, increase it immediately.
Yeah.
There's no, oh, I have to get off now and I have to adjust the weight, now I have to get back on. It's immediate with the TRX, and we use these a lot.
I think these are fantastic.
Oh, they are, they are.
All kinds of toys here. What else do you
all
show
kinds
us
of
something
toys. Well, another thing too, come on down, of course, with our assortment of weighted balls. So, think about a grocery store.
Yeah.
You go to the grocery store, you buy groceries. And me with my gray hair, I always get, can I help you out with those, ma'am? It's like, I got this, dude, really. I'm good. But a lot of women aren't.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see them struggling.
Yeah.
So this is one of the best exercises you can do. This is a 20-pound weighted ball. Mm-hmm. It's teaching people how to just be able to hold it out in front of you. Like this.
Oh, wow.
Stand up nice and straight.
Right.
And be able to walk with it.
Well, see, I would have trouble with
Just
that.
nice and easy.
That would be hard for me.
No big deal.
20 pounds would be hard for me.
Yeah. And we'll have them put it on their shoulder. So if you do this, the tendency is to, like you're carrying.
Like the milkman. Remember
Exactly.
the milkman carrying his milk bottles?
You're doing this. But what if you just stand straight up? Now all of a sudden this side's very engaged, you know, but I'm not leaning, and then just walk with it.
With perfect posture.
Yeah.
See, now that's great. Having someone able to show you like this and look like that is tremendous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really, really
It's an enormous thing to do.
Yeah.
And just a lot of times we'll just have people stand
Let me see if I can even
and
hold
transfer it side to side.
That's good. I want to see if I can even hold this.
But we have them go down to 6 pounds.
Okay, give me something like
Yeah.
That's a little.
Yeah. See, this is like 8 pounds.
8, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think 8 would work. Yeah, 8 is about my limit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just hold it out like this.
But you
right?
feel how immediately your middle back is engaged to keep your chest lifted. Your glutes are working.
I feel my glutes tight.
And your belly has to work.
And so then when I do this and have to hold it on one shoulder, I find that's tolerable.
Now you feel how much tighter you are on this side, but your glutes over here,
absolutely.
You have more weight here.
I mean, you don't think it's anything, but it's huge.
It is. It's enormous.
And this is the kind of thing that you need to be able to do as you're trying to live your life in your home. And, you know, in your home, you don't have weight machines that allow you to set everything and do it a certain way. At home, you're busy lifting groceries and opening the refrigerator door at the same time.
At the same time.
You're doing all these things, you know, that don't work together from an exercise gym standpoint. But at home, you do them together, and you have to be able to do them all well.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
I'll give this back.
And that's what this does, though. It helps you do those things.
I was holding it thinking, geez, I need to hurry up and speak quickly so I can hand this back to her.
It's amazing how heavy 8 pounds can get.
Oh, I think 8 pounds is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very heavy weight. I think the heaviest weight I ever lift for any purpose is a 15, but only when I'm using both hands, like if I'm doing a tricep press.
Behind your,
and I'm using a 15, I can do a 15 there, but if I'm using a one arm movement for any purpose, 10.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's good. That's respectable weight.
That's it.
And you, I mean, there are, you know, muscles, fast twitch muscles, slow twitch muscles. Not to get really scientific, but you know, one of them has a lot of strength and can lift a lot of weight. Yeah. The other one has a lot of endurance but can't lift a lot of weight. Yeah. We each have both. Yeah. But
I have more of the slow twitch.
Exactly.
I can tell you for a fact I know.
Exactly.
I can feel it.
And that's what you have to know, though. And that's what we look for. We look at body shape, we look at strength. Yeah. And we can very easily, without having to, you know, do any type of test, know what person has more of this or more of that, and we can develop their program based on that.
That is so great.
Yeah.
So show me what you do with this and the Bosu.
With the Bosus,
Either one of them.
we do, this is what we consider pretty advanced balancing.
Yeah.
But we'll start with maybe one leg.
Yeah.
You see these are very unstable.
Right.
I have
I think they're cool.
I have an Australian client who calls them the Wibblies.
The Wibblies?
The Wibblies. That's our name for them. But if you just make one leg unstable and keep the other one nice and stable, it can still help you learn how to balance. See, because it starts to throw you backwards. So automatically my belly had to engage to pull me back up.
There you go.
So you can just start teaching little things like that, you know.
That's great.
Very easy. Now when somebody gets really advanced,
they do both feet.
Yeah, you can go to both. This is where you just have to get on, find your balance.
Yeah.
The ankles have to work.
The ankle, you know what? People don't work on their ankles enough.
No. But you can see how my feet are moving to keep me balanced. I'm not I'm not doing this.
That's what you have to avoid. You're
Right.
trying to keep yourself still.
I'm letting my calves and my ankles do the work. I have my quads engaged, my butt engaged. Now I'm going to start engaging those abs.
And you think, I believe that with things like this, you have to concentrate on every single muscle.
You do.
You feel every single muscle.
Yeah, and you notice I'm not looking at you.
No, because you
While
have
I'm
to focus
doing
on
this,
a single point in order to
I have my point picked out.
There you go. Yeah.
And I'm concentrating here, because if I'm looking at you and trying to talk to you, I'm going to fall.
That's right. See, that's great stuff. That is great stuff. And that's the kind of thing I think menopausal women should be focusing on, not how fast can they run or how much can you jump rope. That's not important.
Running, jumping rope, it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
It might not hurt while you're doing it, but it's going to show up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. So show us what you do on the Bosu.
On the Bosu, we do all sorts of fun stuff. All sorts of fun stuff. You can, well, Bosu, if you don't know, stands for both sides up.
So you can turn one or the other. Yeah.
You can turn it this way, stand on it.
Yep.
Do squats, things like that. We'll do balance where you're going side to side.
One side to the other.
One side to the other.
Yeah.
To keep that balance, but then you can turn it over.
Yeah.
The other side. To get on, we stand in the middle and then work your feet out.
Yeah.
So you can be very unstable that way.
Yeah.
And you can do things like...
Yes. Yes. See, that's fun.
It is fun.
That's fun. That's like dancing. I mean, you just play
You're working your
things.
glutes.
That's why I like it the best.
Legs.
It's like a toy.
It is. It is. It's exactly like a toy. And then we'll also do upper body work and planks.
Oh, yeah.
So you have an unstable surface.
Yeah.
But you can hold the plank here. You can do push-ups.
Sure.
If you'd like. There's just all sorts of fun stuff you can do. Balance on it with the elbows.
Yeah, and it's great that you can tailor all of these exercises for the person's ability level, right?
Oh, yeah.
So cool. This is so cool.
Most of the time, people aren't going to get on these for a while.
Yeah, of course not.
You know, because they have to really get that strength built
up. That's
up.
the whole idea. I think the beautiful thing is to realize that everyone is working toward the next goal.
Oh, yeah.
We never run out of goals, but that we all should do the things that challenge us but don't hurt us. And finding that spot as you progress through your menopause is really the key, and then listening to your body and knowing what too much is and modifying for that. And those are principles that I use with everything I do, because I've got really bad arthritis and I have to really, really pay attention to what I do. So I love this gym and I love what you're doing, and I just wish there were more people like you focusing on menopausal women, because I think we're a very special group who deserve special treatment. And I don't think the general training of a fitness trainer accommodates the menopausal woman.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And, you know, I always caution people. Pretty much at every new year, you get the list of what to look for in a trainer. And it's make sure they have this certification and this certification. I can promise you that those certifications do not prepare anyone to be a trainer.
Right.
If they can read and take a multiple choice test You too can be a personal trainer. They need experience.
Absolutely.
They really need experience.
Yeah.
They need to show you proof, and they need to allow you access to their clientele so that you can talk to that person and say, all right, so what has happened? Why do you like this person?
And
how have they helped
and make
you?
sure they can tailor the program to you, because I think that is the biggest, most important thing for any trainer, is making sure that they can do what you need, not what they want you to do. I think that's the key.
Yes.
Shana, you're amazing.
Oh, well,
Thank you so much for doing this.
I
know,
seriously,
but you're just so
I
good
just
at
have
it,
fun.
and everyone's just, you know, so benefited by knowing that there are people like you around. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you. It's been a blast.
I know everyone enjoyed it. And ladies, I hope you can find someone who does menopause fitness for you where you live.
Yeah.
And if you can't, maybe you can, you know, start a movement.
Yes.
Let's start a movement.
It starts with us, right?
It does. Everything can start with us. So we'll see you again in a week. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.